Hi friends, I'm Penny Hunt and this is Penny Heart to Heart Day 35. 35 days of being inside, as most of you are. I started doing this on day 1, the first day I stayed in my home all day. And today is day 35 of me being home and day 35 of videos. I want to remind you before I start that if you'd like to be in my book drawing, I'm giving away books. All you have to do is in the comment line write, "I love your book," and you will be in this week's drawing. I let the winner know on Sunday and I get it out in the mail as soon as I can. It's been great fun giving away books, so all you have to do is write in the comment line, "I love your book," and you'll be in this week's drawing. Yesterday, I talked about being an encourager, and I talked about how hard this is on all of us, being in our homes, and how we are on this roller coaster, and it happens to all of us. I even gave an example of myself and how I have days where it's not great days, and we all need encouragement to stay upbeat and lifted and feel like we are loved and cared for. And I talked about how important it is to reach out and talk to people and check on them and make sure that they are doing okay, and really make sure they're okay, because some people are like me and you don't know offhand that we're having a bad day because we're good at hiding that. And so it's really a good thing to do, to reach out and talk to someone. I want to tell a story today and talk about sharing love and appreciation. And this goes along with being an encourager that I talked about yesterday. I thought of something about how to encourage people and make them feel like they're important enough to check on, and to show empathy for whatever they're going through. Be empathetic and say you understand, or at least that you're listening, they feel like you're listening to them, and also to give hope. And I think those are the pieces for encouragement. And I thought about those of us who are at home, and especially those who are with family and with kids. And wouldn't it be wonderful if you started an encouragement wall, or like you've heard of vision boards, an encouragement board, like a big piece of tag board. And at the end of every day, let people write words of encouragement to each other and post them up there, so that when we have down days, visual things in our face are really important, that we can go back and read and look at all these words of encouragement. And that would be a fun way to be an encourager and bring your family together as people who encourage each other. I want to tell a story about sharing love and appreciation, and this goes along with encouragement. Years ago, I started having family gatherings with the women in my family. We called it WARM, W-A-R-M, W-A-R-M, WARM, Women's Rejuvenation. And it was just a group of us women. We had to be adults. We didn't bring the little grandkids in yet. And it was a time for us to get together and talk and get to know each other. It was usually 2 days, once a year, and we would go somewhere different. And it felt warm. And when I started it, I based it on my mom and her quilt making, and how it feels warm to be wrapped up in a quilt. But one of the exercises that I did the first year, and for several years, were to make these little boxes. I have this one. This one is my mom's little box. It's just a little cardboard box. And it has her name on it. And at the end of our gathering, I handed out a piece of paper that was cut apart in strips. And on the strips, they look like this. On the strips it says, "What I have learned to love and appreciate about Fern." My mom's name is Fern. Well, each box had a strip for each one of us. There was 9 of us, 8 or 9 of us that would attend. And so there was a strip for each one. What I have learned to love and appreciate about Penny, and my sister's name, and my daughter's name. And so we would take some time at the end of our gathering, our 2-day gathering, after we had laughed and cried and eaten a lot of food and done some fun things, we would take some time to fill out our messages of love and appreciation for each other. What happened was, it never failed that after 2 days of spending that kind of quality time together, we learned new things about each other. I learned new things about my mom that I didn't know, and I'm sure she learned new things about me. I learned things about my daughter, and my daughter learned things about me, and things about my sister, and she learned things about me. And because of our sharing and opening up to each other and spending time together, we learn to love and appreciate each other in a new way, in a different way. And I think that's what's happening today. If you are sheltering at home with someone in your family, a spouse or children, or maybe you have your parents with you, if you brought your aging parents to live with you, or whatever your group looks like today, while you're in home and not leaving your house, whoever that is, whatever that looks like, you're learning to love and appreciate each other in a new way. This is not coming without probably little irritations and nitpicking here and there, and I think that's human nature. We're kind of stuck in our homes, and it's unusual, it's different, it's something we've never experienced before. It's a learning process for all of us to learn how to handle this. And so there is some of that craziness that goes on. We're all having good days and bad days, and if you're with someone who you have a good day and they're down here and vice versa, that's hard to kind of balance out. But we're learning all that. We're getting through that, and we're learning to love and appreciate each other in a new way. So I thought, what if, go back to that idea of a encouragement wall or poster, or the front of your refrigerator, or wherever you want to stick all your Post-it notes, or have a board that you can actually write on and save it to look back on someday. Words of encouragement. You could do it every day, you could do it every Sunday night, whatever time you pick to write words of encouragement. You can also do this exercise. Now, when I created this exercise and we wrote on our pieces of paper, and then we walked around like Valentine boxes and put our notes in each person's box, tied a ribbon around it, and they weren't allowed to look at it until they got home. In fact, I encouraged them to wait a little while. Wait until they were having a down day. Wait until they were sad or something, they needed some words of encouragement. And then open their box, and they could sit and read through what the rest of us had said about them. The other thing was, there was also a slip to write down how you felt about yourself. So, for example, everyone in the group got the one that said, what I have learned to love and appreciate about Pennie, and I got that one too. So I got to think about, what have I learned in these last 2 days together with these women about myself? And what have I learned to love and appreciate about myself? And I think that is very important to include when you do this exercise now with whoever you are at home with. If you're not at home with anyone, if you have an inner circle that is just not in your home right now, that you are spending time on FaceTime with or on the phone with, you can still do this. You can say, okay, every Friday I'm going to send you an email, and I'm going to say what I love and appreciate about you, what I have learned to love and appreciate about you during this time, and do it every Sunday night so that you get that words of encouragement in an email on a consistent basis. And I have a feeling you could come up with something every week, because this has gone on now for me for 35 days, much longer than we thought, and maybe it's going to be much longer than we ever thought it's going to be before we see the end of it. And so a collection of words of encouragement, a collection of thoughts about what you have learned new about how to love and appreciate the people that you have in your life, would be such a treasure to have to come out with at the end of this process. And so that's what I wanted to share with you, how we did it at Warm and made us feel like we were snuggled in a quilt, wrapped up in love and appreciation and words of encouragement. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. A reminder, if you want to be in the drawing for my book, just write in the comment line, I love your book, and you will be in this week's drawing. I'll let you know on Sunday who wins and get it in the mail as soon as possible. I thank you for joining me every day at 3 o'clock. Tomorrow will be day 36. I'm Pennie Hunt, and this has been Pennie Heart to Heart. Thanks for watching.